Welcome back to the Legacy Project podcast, the show where we help you preserve, polish, and pass down the stories that matter most. I'm your host, Don Fessenden, and today we're talking about something every storyteller faces at some point: how to revisit and revise old stories. Maybe it's a childhood memory you wrote down years ago, a family tale you captured in a rush, or a legacy letter that no longer reflects your current perspective. Revisiting old stories isn't about fixing what's broken, it's about deepening your connection to the past and letting your wisdom grow alongside your words. In this episode, we'll explore when and why to revise, how to approach your old stories with fresh eyes, and how revisiting them can actually bring you even closer to the heart of your legacy. Let's get started. Storytelling is never a one and done project. As we grow, so does our understanding of what our stories mean. And sometimes what once felt complete now feels incomplete or even inaccurate. Maybe you've had new insights, new experiences, or new conversations that changed the way you view an old memory. Maybe what was once painful now feels empowering. Or maybe a story that used to be all about you now feels like it should also honor someone else. Revisiting and revising isn't about erasing the past, it's about refining the truth. It's a chance to bring new layers of compassion, clarity, and reflection into your storytelling. So, how do you know when a story is ready for another look? Sometimes the moment is obvious. You find an old journal entry or essay that stirs something new. You realize your perspective on an event has changed with time. A family member offers their version of the same story, revealing something you missed. Other times, it's more intuitive. You feel a nudge, a curiosity, a sense that you didn't quite capture the whole picture the first time around. Trust that instinct. It means your story is still alive, and it's calling you back, not to rewrite it completely, but to revisit it with wisdom you've earned since the first telling. When you open an old story, do it with gentleness. Start by reading it all the way through. Don't judge it. Don't critique every sentence. Just listen. Let your past self speak. Then ask questions like, what emotions surface as I reread this? Is there something I now understand that I didn't back then? Does the tone still match how I feel today? Are there missing voices or details I should now include? If it's a story about family, ask yourself whether you wrote with fairness and understanding. Sometimes our early drafts are raw, and that's okay. That's where honesty begins. But revision invites us to mature those moments, to see them through the eyes of growth. Now that you're ready to revise, here are a few ways to breathe new life into your old story. Add reflection. Insert a short paragraph that shows how your view has evolved. For example, at the time I felt abandoned. Now I realized she was doing the best she could. Expand with detail. Were there parts you skimmed over? Go deeper, describe the scene, the conversation, the feeling you didn't fully express before. Include other voices. If a sibling, spouse, or parent played a role, consider how their perspective might add dimension. Update the structure. Sometimes the flow of a story changes as you add more insight. Be willing to rearrange events or clarify transitions for stronger impact. Keep your original version. This is important. Don't delete your first draft. Keep it as a record of who you were when you wrote it. Your archive should reflect your growth, not just your polish. I've seen it time and again. What begins as editing often becomes emotional healing. You're not just revising words. You're revisiting pain, joy, confusion, and pride. You're honoring your own journey through a clearer lens. One storyteller I worked with revised a story about a falling out with her father. The first version was filled with anger and hurt. Years later, she revised it to include the reconciliation that came just before he passed away. That act of rewriting helped her process grief and left a fuller story for her children to understand who he truly was. When you revise a story, you're saying, I've changed, I've grown, and I still believe this story matters. As we close today's episode, I invite you to find one story. You've written something old, something unfinished, or something you haven't looked at in a while. Reread it, sit with it. Ask yourself what it still has to teach you and what new truth you're ready to add. Revising isn't about getting it right, it's about getting it real. It's about honoring who you were and who you are now. And if you need guidance through the writing, revising, or reflection process, you'll find prompts and tools in my book, The Legacy Project, a guide to sharing your story. It's there to help you shape a legacy that grows with you. Thanks for joining me on the Legacy Project podcast. Keep writing, keep revisiting, and keep shaping the story only you can tell. I'll see you next time.